In the Prosovsk direction, a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observed a lone Russian soldier moving across a flooded grass field. With each step sinking into the muddy terrain, the soldier's progress slowed. Overhead, a drone drew closer. Sensing the danger, the soldier reacted with visible distress, briefly collapsing under the pressure. He forced himself back up and continued forward, legs weighed down by mud. But the drone maintained its course. It approached with deliberate precision, remaining fixed on its objective. Moments later, it accelerated toward him, carrying out an impact that marked yet another moment defined by unmanned systems shaping modern conflict. In Prask, a Ukrainian surveillance drone hovered near the forest edge, motionless in ambush. Through dense foliage, it observed two Russian soldiers moving cautiously among the tree trunks. As the second soldier passed, the drone executed its operation, advancing quickly and achieving its objective. The forest fell silent afterward. In modern conflict, the advantage lies with those who can operate unseen. Every shadow carries potential risk, and every calm moment can change in an instant. While a Russian soldier was moving through the Andreevka region, he was observed by a drone from the 414th UAV Strike Aviation Brigade. The soldier fired at the drone in an attempt to disable it. When his ammunition was depleted, he sought cover in a corner. Vulnerable and exposed, he became the focus of the FPV drone, which executed its operation. The FPV drone operator maneuvered to an optimal position, while the soldier continued firing at the drone without success. He even attempted to obstruct the incoming drone with his foot, but was unable to prevent the strike. A lone Russian soldier in open terrain came under observation by an FPV drone from the 3rd Assault Brigade. Noticing the drone approaching, he ran in circles, attempting to evade detection, but had no viable escape route. In a final effort, he fired at the drone, trying to disable it, but was unsuccessful. The drone advanced quickly and completed its operation, leaving the soldier unable to avoid the outcome. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, a Ukrainian soldier engaged multiple Russian drones hovering near the forest edge. His fire was effective, and one by one, the unmanned aircraft were brought down. The road fell quiet under the looming threat from above. In the Pokrovsk direction, a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observed two Russian soldiers riding an ATV loaded with supplies through a heavily damaged residential street. Buildings had collapsed, windows were shattered, and debris littered the pavement. As the soldiers passed the wreckage, a civilian emerged from a ruined house at the roadside, shouting and waving his arms in an attempt to halt their progress. The soldiers continued on, paying him no heed. Suddenly, a Ukrainian FPV drone appeared overhead. The two Russian soldiers realized they were being observed. They abandoned the ATV and ran down the road. One of them stumbled and fell onto the crumbling asphalt, sustaining an injury. His comrade looked back, hesitated, then returned. He helped the injured soldier toward the roadside grass, his uniform streaked with dust and debris. The companion covered him with a piece of cloth before retreating into the rubble of the neighborhood. Meanwhile, the drone hovered above, capturing every moment. A second UAV arrived, circling the injured soldier lying at the edge of the grass, confirming his condition. Then the drone shifted its focus to the abandoned ATV still in plain view. Without warning, it dived toward the vehicle and made impact. Fuel ignited, and smoke rose thick and dark against the twilight sky. The blast echoed through the damaged street as dust drifted from broken facades. The sequence underscores how unmanned systems are reshaping modern battlefields, where every road, every ruined building, and every exposed vehicle becomes a potential target. The Ukrainian Sinam battalion infiltrated a forest in the Lyman region, with an FPV drone approaching a Russian military camp. Based on the equipment observed, it was evident that a sizable group of Russian soldiers was present. The drone surveyed the area, identified the assembled personnel, and executed its targeted strike. Subsequent waves of drones targeted the Russian positions, disabling the military vehicles stationed there. Motorcycles used by the soldiers were also neutralized, rendering the Russian position inoperable. These vehicles, often used at the front for rapid movement and coordination, become highly vulnerable to drone operations. A Russian soldier became the focus of Ukrainian FPV drones in the Zaporizhia region. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones observed a lone Russian soldier moving through the ruins, far from his defensive positions and fully exposed. The soldier was monitored for a period by the drones. Then the Ukrainian operators executed the FPV operation. By the time the soldier noticed the drone approaching, it was already too late to evade the outcome. In the Zaporizhzhia region, a Ukrainian Special Forces unit prepared for a direct operation on a Russian defensive trench situated at the forest edge. Intelligence had identified the deep trench line as a reinforced position where opposing forces had taken shelter for weeks. Under the cover of low light, the operators moved quietly through broken underbrush, staying close to tree lines and keeping low. The challenge was evident: to navigate a fortified trench network designed for defense rather than movement. The operation began when the lead element approached the trench's edge. The breeze carried the scent of wet earth and spent munitions. Without hesitation, the Ukrainian team executed their plan. Flashbangs were deployed first, detonating in confined spaces, followed by controlled rifle fire as the defenders responded. The trench corridor became intense close-quarters engagement. Ukrainian soldiers moved in coordinated units, one covered the flank, another advanced, and a third maintained rear security. Communication was precise and minimal. Clearing progressed section by section. As they moved forward, the full depth of the trench network became evident. It twisted along the forest edge, with overhead cover in places and concealed positions throughout. Russian soldiers attempted to slow the operation, firing from confined dugouts, but the Ukrainians persisted. They used coordinated movement, low profiles, and sustained momentum to advance the defenders toward a deeper section with limited options for retreat. Momentum shifted as the defenders' resistance weakened. The trench no longer provided cover. Finally, the team reached the central part of the trench network. Using smoke and tactical devices, they forced the remaining defenders to withdraw. The last defender signaled surrender. The mission was completed. By first light, the trench system was secured, neutralized, and under Ukrainian control. This operation demonstrates how modern special forces redefine battlefield success. It's not always about large-scale armored assaults or heavy ordnance. Success relies on skill, coordination, timing, and taking the initiative in positions once considered too hazardous. In the Krasnoly-Mansk direction, Ukrainian drone operators launched a targeted strike using FPV drones equipped with specialized incendiary payloads. The first objective was a derelict apartment block, long abandoned and deteriorating. The drone made its approach, released its payload, and moments later the structure ignited, sending dark smoke rising into the sky. Without hesitation, the team shifted to their second objective, a concealed Russian bunker position deep within the forest and carefully camouflaged. The drone locked onto the site and initiated the detonation. And the entrance was consumed in flames, with surrounding trees trembling from the blast. These coordinated operations highlight how unmanned aerial tactics are reshaping contested areas, enabling Ukrainian forces to engage high-value targets with precision while minimizing risk to their personnel. Ukraine's fiber-optic FPV drone conducted a sweep of a large industrial building in search of Russian personnel. The skilled drone operator methodically moved through the entire structure, inspecting every floor and corner. A Russian soldier was eventually detected after revealing his position by firing at the drone, immediately becoming the focus of the operation. Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles conducted a strike on the Shatura GRES power plant near Moscow. The facility caught fire following the operation, sending thick smoke into the air and prompting a significant response from emergency teams. The incident led to widespread and prolonged power outages across the city, leaving large areas without electricity as authorities worked to contain the fire and evaluate the damage.